Let's discuss about the qualities of mind and its relationship with other energies. Anything in this cosmos will have a particular expression. That expression can come in different tone, right? Ayurvedically speaking, there are three qualities that is governing the entire cosmos, the entire universe. Three qualities. It is called three gunas. Those are sattva, rajas, and tamas. Sattva, rajas, and tamas are called the three gunas that is governing the entire cosmos. And as a part of that, it governs our mind. So they are also called as the qualities of the mind, sattva, rajas, and tamas. What is this sattva, rajas, and tamas? Sattva stands for purity and clarity. A sattvic life means a balanced, clean, pure life. A sattvic living, sattvic food. Anything that nurtures the clarity, purity, grounding, positive nature, support, the devotion, honesty, trust, cleanliness, that is a sattvic expression. Whereas there are two other energies or two other qualities called rajas and tamas. There are also these two, rajas and tamas, also called as the mental doshas, mano doshas. Sattva is always a guna, a positive quality. Always stands for clarity and purity, sattva. Whereas rajas and tamas are mano doshas, or it can cause imbalance. The increase of rajas or increase of tamas is not that positive. What is rajas and tamas? Rajas stands for extreme activity. A rajasic nature means very intense, very mobile, extreme, the violence and the competitiveness, extreme competitiveness. So it is about extreme activity. Rajas stands for extreme activity, intensity, heat. Whereas tamas stands for the extreme lethargy, heaviness, dullness, lethargy. Both extremes of human psychology. One is the intense, moving, sharp, intense rajas. The other side, the tamas, dull, depressive, heavy, lethargic, the depressive stage. There comes the anxiety or the extreme violent state. Both are, rajas and tamas are manodoshas. It is very important to nurture the sattvic state. Sattvic is clean, pure, balanced, positive state. And that is a very, very important aspect of a healthy life. Ayurveda provides a lot of tools to bring that harmony and balance. And in the current day life, everything is stimulating the rajasic nature, right? You know, whether it is the ads in the TV or, the marketing materials, what is produced these days, all are in that way, that the competition, the fight for something, right? All tempting. Or, who is big, who is fast, who is, superior. It brings the Rajasic nature out. Whereas a self-contentment, happiness, a purity in our thoughts, honesty and trust, that brings a lot of peace, a lot of harmony, a lot of balance, and a lot of health. There are many tools from Ayurveda and the sister science of Ayurveda Yoga. There are many tools provided to bring this. And let us see what are those options. You must have heard, right? Sattvic food, Sattvic living, Sattvic way of life. If you are transforming or, explaining this in a normal day-to-day life situations, you will understand in a better way. There is Rajasic nature in the food. There is Tamasic nature in the food. There is Sattvic nature in the food. For example, whether it is black pepper or red chilies or garlic, all have that heating, very sharp and intense qualities, right? We can consider them as the Rajasic, nature of foods. Highly pungent, spicy, soury, acidic. Those comes under the Rajasic nature of the food. Whereas the old, stale, heavy, dull food, kept it overnight, etc. Those comes under the Tamasic food that brings, lot of lethargy, dullness, heaviness in the system. They are Tamasic food. Whereas any food that brings the grounding, nurturing, nourishing balance, they are called as the Sattvic food. And there will be tendencies, That is the main difference between the body and the mind. Body always craves, or always the affinity will be towards the opposite qualities. And that is to bring the harmony within. A person who is having high pitta in their system, the heat, the pitta, they always be comfortable in cold weather. Why? Body has a natural tendency to balance on its own. A pitta person will be comfortable in cold weather, whereas a vata and kapha nature will be more comfortable in warm weather. So body has a tendency to crave for the opposite qualities to find the balance. The mind is totally different, totally opposite. Mind always crave for the same quality to enhance that. A Rajasic nature mind will be always looking for how to fight. They will be always looking for a fight, and they really enjoy, retaliating and fighting and shouting. That is the Rajasic nature. So mind has always having that tendency to go in its own, exaggerating its own nature. So the tendencies of people with the Rajasic mind or, the Tamasic nature of mind varies accordingly. For example, Yatayamam gatarasam puti paryushitam chayat uchishtam cha medhyam cha ahara tamasapriya. Tamasic people, they like the food kept it overnight, yatayamam, gatarasam, that is already changed its, the real taste. And those type of food that brings more dullness within the system. more heaviness within the system. Whereas Rajasic people, they like that really spicy, intense, soury food. That is very drying, or that is very intense, very spicy type of food that increases the heat, stimulates them to be hyper. Whereas tamasic tendencies are bringing more balance and grounding, nourishing, nurturing, stabilizing type of food. So please understand that the nature of the mind is to go in its own way, where we need to balance it. We need to be aware about it. We need to bring the focus of mind into a balanced state. Sometimes the Rajasic people, Rajasic nature of mind, we may have to tame that mind a little bit and bringing the grounding. Whereas the Tamasic nature of dull mind, we may have to wake them up mentally and bring them back to the harmony and balance. Mind needs that taming. That is why the yoga, the pranayama and the meditation, the role is that. Yoga chitta vritti nirodha, right? The nature of the mind to go in its own extreme and wandering, bringing back to the focus, bringing back to the harmony. Well-focused, balanced and grounded mind can be so productive, can bring a lot of value in the individual's life, the familial life and the social life. So, balancing the mind, bringing the focus and grounding that mind and nurturing the positive quality, yoga, pranayama, meditation plays a very, very important role. That is why Ayurvedic practices with yoga together makes the complete, living methodology. What do you think? Which one is important in this? What to eat, how much to eat, and when to eat? According to Ayurveda, when to eat is the most important, more than how much and what. It's very interesting. The reason is our body is looking for a cyclic rhythm from us for everything, for eating, for sleeping, for everything. And whenever we are able to keep that cyclic rhythm, body will get tuned to that. Then following that tuning will help us to streamline our entire physiology. For example, if you are eating breakfast, say at 7 a.m. every day for 1 month, on the 31st day or the 32nd day, you will automatically feel like eating at 7 o'clock in the morning. Why? Through the 30 days, you have already tuned the system. Regularly, continuously, that is the time for the food. So your digestive system is ready, absorption system, your entire system is aware about that cyclic rhythm and body is ready to receive, absorb and utilize it. I have demonstrated in this concept in my practice in a lot of cases. Because many of them told me that I'm not used to morning breakfast, so that's why I'm not taking. Some of them told me that I'm not feeling hungry at all, then how can I eat? We heard that whenever we feel hungry, we need to eat. I'm not feeling hungry. But for their condition and whatever their, the disease they were getting, I felt that the morning breakfast is very, very important. So I explained them, it's all about tuning. Our body is like a cow with a rope. If you have a cow, hold the rope and you walk. Wherever you walk, cow will follow you, whether it is a grassland or a forest. Cow knows only one thing, you are leading in the front. The same way our body also. If you are tuning our body in a particular cyclic path, body will just follow that, whether it is a positive tuning or a negative tuning. The example for negative tuning is smoking. All smokers are very well aware that it is not good for the system, but still body will ask, where is my smoke? Because body got used to that every day continuously. For body it became normal. The example for positive tuning is eating in proper time every day, sleeping in proper time every day. If you are sleeping at 10 p.m. every day for a few weeks, when that time comes, automatically you will start yawning because your body is telling, hey, this is my time for sleeping. Why are you still awake? The same way, the eating time is very important. And I strongly believe that if all of us are able to keep up the timing for food, many of the metabolic disorders can be, avoided or brought down. If you are eating in the same time, your digestive system is expecting that food, the proper digestion will happen, absorption will happen, utilization will happen, utilization of the food. You know that the food is getting utilized primarily in 3 ways. One, the food is, directly into energy, glucose into ATP. You are eating even sublingual absorption of the glucose and getting used for energy. That is one utility. Second use of, utilization of food is for tissue nourishment. This food need to nourish your skin and your blood and your bone and your hair, right? That is the main utilization. Majority of the food is getting utilized for replenishing or, nourishing the body tissues. And you know what is the third utilization? After using for the energy as well as the tissue nourishment, whatever balance, it will go and deposit as fat for crisis management. It is the reservoir. Now, if you are eating in the same time every day, since your entire system is aware about it, all the food will get properly digested, absorbed, and most of the food will get used for energy as well as tissue nourishment, because all the levels of your system is very well aware. Your entire system is ready to take on the food. So the major chunk or the most of the food will get utilized for energy and tissue nourishment, where there won't be any balance to go and deposit as fat, because only the balance will go and deposit as fat, right? So finally, what is the outcome? Your strength will increase because your tissue is nourishing. You have energy. So your strength will increase, your bulk will not increase, because there is no anything to go and get deposited. Now you take the total opposite scenario. A person one day, was in a hurry in the morning, couldn't take breakfast, rushed to the office. Second day was a holiday, slept up to 11:30, had a brunch. Third day, had breakfast at 8 o'clock. If there is no pattern, if there is no cyclic pattern, our entire system will get confused. One day 8 o'clock, one day no, one day 11 o'clock and 12 o'clock. So if a person is following that irregular pattern, since there is no tuning, that person may feel hungry sometime and eat sometime and may get partly utilized. The major chunk of the food will get unutilized. And unutilized food, only one option, go and deposit as fat. So what is the outcome? The strength will go down because there is no proper tissue nourishment of energy, but bulk will increase because surplus. This is just to explain how important keeping up good cyclic rhythm for eating. And ideally, breakfast, lunch and dinner, 3 meals a day, with the appropriate wholesome natural ingredients. Now talking about what to eat. few common general instructions and some specific instructions. General instruction is very simple. Our body is a nature's blend. It is created by the nature, fed by the nature, helped to grow by the nature. And this nature's blend, the body is able to identify another nature's blend and utilize it. So go for more natural and wholesome meal. Better to have wheat flour than the white flour, the maida. Why? Wheat flour is the powder of the natural wheat, whereas white flour is refined form of wheat with a lot of chemical process. Its natural properties got changed. And there are some of the studies says that the maida, white flour, can cause more inflammation than wheat flour. It's an explanation of the Ayurvedic concept, right? So go for more natural, wholesome meal. When I say wholesome meal, you should eat everything, right? You need, the grains and vegetables and fruits and nuts and oils, everything. Then the customization is required based on the body constitution. An individual with Vata constitution, Vata nature, since Vata is cold, dry, light, rough, mobile, they need more moisture, they need more grounding, they need more nourishing. They may need a little bit more oil than anybody else because their system tend to get too much dryness. For a Pitta constitution, Pitta Prakriti, Pitta body type, since the fire is very intense, they are very, heat body and very intense, sensitive. They need more cooling type of, food. They are not supposed to eat too much hot, spicy food. They need sufficient hydration. They need relaxation. As far as the Kapha type of bodies goes, Kapha is heavy, sticky, static, cold. So you need more light, warm food. Little dry or warm and light food. That will be ideal for them. So based on the constitution, based on the body type or nature, Prakriti, they need to customize the food ingredients. Everybody can eat everything, but the customize it a little bit, add a little bit more suitable things and minimize the not that great items, so that finally there is a balance. Drinking sufficient quantity of water is very, very important. Because water is the best cleanser, right? When you drink more water, there will be more urine, more sweat, and your motion will be clear. Only 3 ways of eliminating waste and toxin from the system. Now, that doesn't mean that you need 5 liter or 6 liter water a day. No. You need average, maybe, 8 to 10 glasses, about, 2 liters of water in 24 hours. And according to the health condition, then you will have to customize the food, right? That is a very specific, the clinical, Ayurvedic clinical nutrition. But generally, keeping in good timing and the quantity, regarding the quantity, one should eat based on their digestive strength. If you have a good digestive and metabolic strength, you can eat properly. But if your digestion is weak, metabolism weak, you may have to go for more lighter, easily digestible options. And if your digestion is weak, you may not go for too much raw vegetables. Because raw vegetables is uncooked vegetable, right? That means it is a little bit heavier to digest than the cooked food. Digestion is nothing but cooking. In kitchen, you use flame to cook. Here it is the salivary amylase, acids and pepsin to cook. This acid is nothing but liquid fire. We discussed that, right? So when you eat a lot of uncooked item, it is very strenuous for this kitchen, this digestive system to process it. That can cause many metabolic disorders. If you have good, strong digestive system, you can eat some, raw salads or, some juice and all, no problem. But it should be decided based on the digestive strength. So the type of food is wholesome meal, more cooked food, and the quantity based on your digestive strength. If you have good, strong system, you can eat well. And if you have a weak digestive and metabolic system, even minimum food may be too much for you. I have seen in many, restaurants in the US, they write the calories. Oh, this burger is so many calories. On this cake is so many calories. Ayurvedically speaking, it is baseless, right? There is no sense to put the numbers, because it is not about calories. A person with a good digestive and metabolic system, even high calories is less for them. Their body will be able to use it and get into tissue and, energy. Whereas even minimum calorie will be too much for a person with a very weak digestive and metabolic system. That minimum calorie can cause overweight. So it's all about our system, not only about what we are putting. It's all about how much our system can process. Take it up, use it, and use for that strength and nourishment. So when to eat is the most important, then definitely what to eat and how much to eat. These are the main three aspects of Ayurvedic nutrition. And you can select the ingredients based on that, because each and every ingredient has its own qualities, right? So, for example, the ghee, clarified butter, is more nourishing, strengthening, whereas honey is heating and reductive, even though it is sweet. So there is no, general statement about you take everything in this particular quantity. According to your health condition, dosha situation, you may have to select the appropriate ingredients for your health.